So this is a second part of the lectures on electromagnetic induction. This is a very small chapter. I think within 1 or 2 classes we can finish this chapter and we will move to the next chapter, that is alternating current. So let's recall what and all we have studied in this chapter, electromagnetic induction. The first one, it was actually a recall of the things already you learned in class 10th. Okay, and we have added some more extra points to that. So first we have seen what is electromagnetic induction. So we have discussed our we have started our discussions with the magnetic flux. We have related it with electric flux. We have a detailed discussion on electric flux, and using those concepts we have discussed magnetic flux also, and we got the expression for magnetic flux as phi is equal to b dot a. B is the intensity of magnetic field, a is the area vector, and ba cos theta. Theta is the angle between magnetic field and area vector. And hope all of you remember how to take the area vector. Area vector is always taken perpendicular to the surface. It is a normal drawn to the surface. Okay, then we have seen Faraday's experiments. Three experiments are there. We have seen one by one, and in those experiments he has demonstrated that by varying the magnetic flux we can induce an EMF or induce current. So it is possible to change the magnetic field, and or we can generate current with the help of magnetic field. In the previous chapters we have seen how magnetic field is created, or magnetism is derived from current. Here we are discussing how current derives from magnetism. Okay, so Faraday was the first person to demonstrate that one, and using those experiments he has arrived at some observations and conclusions, and that defines what is the phenomena of electromagnetic induction. So in short we can say that varying the magnetic field or magnetic flux, the change in magnetic flux give rise to an EMF. That EMF is called induced EMF, or the corresponding current is called induced current. And observations he has given as a conclusions in the form of Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, and we have seen this Faraday's laws also. And regarding the direction of induced EMF, we have Lenz's law. Lenz's law states that the induced EMF, the direction of induced EMF is such that it always opposes the cause producing it. For example, if the induced EMF is due to increase in magnetic field, then induced EMF direction will be in a such a way that it will try to decrease the field. And we can take any examples for that. Okay, then we have seen the important description. It is nothing but Lenz's law is in accordance with law of conservation of energy. So here there is no creation of energy. The only thing is the conservation or change of energy. In order to overcome the opposition, we have to do some mechanical work. Lenz's law says that the EMF always try to oppose the motion, oppose the cause. So in order to overcome that cause, if you want to produce more and more EMF, we have to overcome that opposition. In order to do that, we have to do some mechanical work. That mechanical work is being converted to electrical energy. So here there is a conversion from mechanical energy to electrical energy, and therefore Lenz's law is in accordance with law of conservation of energy, or it is another statement of law of conservation of energy. There is no violation here. Okay, the last one, using Faraday's law and Lenz's law, we have combined and we got the expression for the induced EMF. So induced EMF E, we got it as minus d phi by dt. Induced EMF is proportional to the rate of change of flux. Rate of change of flux, and it is the direction is opposite to the change in flux. So there is a minus sign. So minus gives is from Lenz's law, d phi by dt is from Faraday's law. Hope these things are clear. So let's move to today's topics. So here today we are going to see what are the different methods for producing induced EMF. Let us see one by one method. Okay, so first you should know how to produce induced EMF, then only we can discuss about different methods. So how to produce induced how to produce induced EMF? Can anyone say production of induced EMF? How is that possible?
So changing flux.
By changing flux. So in order to produce an induced EMF, we should see how can we change the flux. So for that, what we need? For that, we should know what is the expression for flux. I already discussed the expression for flux. Can anyone recall? Avantika,
Yes, sir.
what is the expression for magnetic flux? Phi, magnetic.
VA cos theta.
Very good. Magnetic flux is given by BA cos theta. Okay. So we have induced EMF is equal to minus d phi by dt, rate of change of magnetic flux. So if we want to have E, then there should phi is not sufficient. What is needed? D phi by dt is needed. That means the change in flux is needed. The flux should change with the time. Mere presence of flux doesn't guarantee EMF. What is needed? The flux should change with time. Okay, so change in flux is needed. So first we will see what is the expression for flux. Phi is equal to BA cos theta. This is the expression. So from this expression itself, you can answer. There are mainly three methods for producing change in flux. Okay, Akshay, can you tell me what are the different methods for producing induced EMF? Akshay.
Yes, sir.
Our aim is to produce induced EMF. How can we produce induced EMF? By changing flux. What are the different methods to change flux? For that, you have to see on what factors does the flux depends. Phi, flux depends upon. How can you change flux?
Um,
Three terms are there, right? In flux. You
um,
change those three terms. That's all. Tell me one by one.
changing
Yes.
changing magnetic field.
Okay, first one. If the magnetic field changes with time, then obviously flux also changes. Okay, next one.
Mm,
Hmm?
Angle.
Okay, angle, theta. And then what is A?
Area.
Area. So there are three methods. You can change the flux. Why we need to change the flux? Because we want to produce EMF. Okay. So there are three methods: by changing the magnetic field, by changing the area, or by changing the angle between area and magnetic field. Always be, you should remember that theta is the angle between B and A. Okay. If we have a surface like this, what is the direction of area? Area is the normal end cap. Okay, and if you have a magnetic field like this, the angle, this is magnetic field, so this is the angle between magnetic field and area. Don't take the this one. Okay, always the area should taken as perpendicular to the surface. Okay, Ria.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you elaborate the first technique to change the flux or to produce the induced EMF?
The amount of magnetic field passing should be
Okay,
increased or
increased or decreased? Change is neither. Okay, don't always think that it should be increased. It can be increased or decreased. How can we change the magnetic flux linked? Oh, sorry, magnetic field linked with a coil. Already we have seen Faraday's first experiment. Can you recall what is Faraday's first experiment? Hmm?
current should be removed.
Coil is there, and what else is there? We need two things: one coil, and another one is
Galvanometer.
a galvanometer is to detect the induced EMF. To produce induced EMF, we need two things: one is coil, and another one
Current.
current. We are going to produce. If already current is there, means no need to produce it. Recall the Faraday's first experiment. What he did there?
Magnet.
So there is a bar magnet and there is a coil. Okay. So when the bar magnet is moved towards the coil, what will happen to the magnetic field associated with the coil? Increases or decreases?
Hello.
The magnet, when the magnet is moved towards the coil, whether the magnetic field will increase or decrease.
Increase.
Magnetic field will remain constant for the magnet, but for the coil, the magnet is coming near and near. And you know that coil, if it is the coil is placed very near to the magnet, what happens? As the distance between coil and magnet decreases, the magnetic field intensity increases. Near to the coil, more magnetic field will be there. Therefore, as the coil move towards the magnet, coil or magnet, anything can move. Either you fix the coil, move the magnet, or you fix the magnet, move the coil. Both are possible. Okay. Only condition is that there must be a relative motion between magnet and coil. And whenever there is a relative motion, there is a change in distance between them. As the distance changes, magnetic field also changes. So whenever magnetic field changes, first method, flux changes. Okay. By changing magnetic field B. Magnetic flux phi can be changed by changing the magnetic field B. And hence EMF can be induced in the circuit as done in Faraday's experiment. So we have a coil here, and we have a magnet here. And initially, there is no current in the coil. Galvanometer is connected only to see whether when we move the magnet, any current is produced or not, to detect any presence of current. Okay. Now we have a bar magnet here. So magnetic flux is also shown. So for this magnet, magnetic flux is constant. But as the magnet move towards the coil, what happens? The flux associated with the coil increases. See here, flux associated with the coil increased. When the flux associated with the coil increased, there is a change in flux. So there will be, as B changes, phi changes. As phi changes, E is induced. Induced EMF is there. Similarly, when we take the magnet away from the coil, what happens? The magnetic flux decreases because magnet and the relative position is decreasing. The distance between them is decreasing, or the magnetic field is decreasing, or the flux is decreasing. So there is a change in flux. Decrease or increase, there is a flux in change. Therefore, there is an induced EMF. So this is the first method to produce a induced EMF. Now let's move to the second method. What is the second method? Second method is the important one. That is by changing the area of the coil A available in magnetic field. So the second method, BA cos theta, area associated with the magnetic field should change. Okay. So let's see how to change the magnetic flux field. Magnetic flux phi can be changed by changing the area of the loop A, which is acted upon by the magnetic field B. So A is what? It is the area associated with the magnetic field that will change, and there will be a induced EMF. So let's take, so this is a magnetic field. As it is crossed, it is into the plane. The direction of magnetic field is into the plane. Okay. Now we'll take a coil. So there is a coil here, PQRS. Now you can see that the area associated with the magnetic field. How much area is associated with the magnetic field? Initially, only this much area is associated with the coil. Sorry, associated with the magnetic field. This much area. Now, if I keep the coil there itself, what will happen? Nothing will happen. No induced current will be there. Why? Because the area is not changing. Magnetic field is already uniform. We are keeping B constant. Theta. What is theta here? Shruti and Manoj, what is theta? Shruti. Shruti, are you there? And Manoj, Shruti and Manoj.
Yes, sir.
What is angle between magnetic field and coil in this case?
90.
90? Yeah. Anyone wants to object here? Any objections?
Sir, 180.
180?
180.
Yeah. And? Any more answers? So now you have to fix whether it is 180 or 90. Shruti, are you still in 90 or you have changed your mind? Sorry, 90. Some are saying that it is 180. So here you, as I told here, the magnetic field is into the plane. The magnetic field is into the plane. How to find the area vector? Area vector is always perpendicular to the surface. So here the coil is in this shape. If you draw the
So 180,
perpendicular,
180.
okay. So what the if you draw the perpendicular, always see this is the common mistake everyone makes. It is not new. Okay. So the angle between either 0 or you can take it as 180 degree. So angle is also fixed. B is uniform. Therefore B is also fixed. B is fixed. Theta is fixed. Now what we are going to change? The second factor, that is area. Okay. Now see the area associated, as I told earlier, the area associated with the magnetic field is this much. Now I am going to move the coil towards the magnetic field. As I move the coil towards the magnetic field, for example, I have moved up to here. Suppose this is the new position. This is the new position. So what happened to the area associated with the coil? Vismaya? Vismaya. So this is the
Sir,
new position, P dash or PQRS, new position. Yes, Vismaya, can you tell me what happened to the area associated with the magnetic field? Whether it has increased or decreased when I moved the coil towards
in-
to the left.
increased.
Increased. See here, only before only this much area was present. Now what about now this much area is associated with the coil. As I move the coil towards the magnetic field, the area increases. So when I move the coil, there is a change in area. Whenever there is a change in area, what happens? Now further I am moving inside. This much. This much I have moved. So this is the new position. So how much area is associated? See here, there is an increase in area. Therefore, there is a change in area. There is change in flux. There is an induced EMF. So when I move the coil, there is a change in area and there is an induced EMF. Okay, let me take the example. So here the coil is moving with a velocity v. Velocity v. Now it has reached this position. I am calling this position as P dash Q dash and R dash S dash. Okay, this is a new position. So how much area is the now what is the change in area? How much area has been changed? Initially, this only one I'm calling this one. This was already present. Okay, so it has not changed. How much has changed? This much portion has changed. This is the change in area. I'm calling that change in area is dA. I'm not
Sir,
taking the complete area. Yeah.
sir,
The
the
presentation is
presentation
not.
is not
Oh,
visible.
okay. What about now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here I was talking flux is there, coil is here, PQRS, and I am moving the coil towards the magnetic field as it moves. See here, this is the initial position. So this much area was already present. So we will not consider that. We will take only how much area has been changed. What is the additional area added? See here, as it moves, this much area has been added additionally. So this is the change in area. So that portion we are taking as dA or change in area. Is that concept clear? Here we are not taking the complete area. We are taking only the changed area. So here dA is only this much. So Neha mole.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me why I have taken dA only this much portion, not the area of the complete coil?
So because this is the extra one added.
Yes, we are concerned only with change in area. We are not concerned with the total area. How much area has been changed? Area changed, flux changed, EMF produced. So we are concerned only about change. That's why this much area has been changed. Okay, now I'm considering that let this coil is moving the already I had given the coil is moving with the velocity v. In order to change this much area, it has taken a time dt. And its length is given by L. The length of the coil is L. Okay, Devananda,
Yes, sir.
Devananda.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the breadth of D? Can you tell me the breadth of DA? Not the whole coil, breadth of DA.
Breadth of dA.
This much area.
Sir, L into
This one, this much distance. The total distance is breadth. I can take. This is the breadth of total coil, but I am not interested in total coil. This much is the change. How much will be this distance? S dash S.
Sir, dt into
dt into distance.
L.
Velocity is given, time is given. Velocity is given, it is moving with velocity v. And to move that much distance, it has taken dt time. So what is the displacement? I have given you all the clues. You have to find the displacement, moving with velocity v, taking time. Good. That means velocity is ds by dt. So how much will be ds? V into dt. So that distance, the length. Okay. I will take the length L and V into dt. This is the breadth. Okay. Now let's calculate the flex. What is the expression for flex? So the loop PQRS is slided into uniform and perpendicular magnetic field. The change in area, here it is increase. Coil area of the coil under the influence of the field is dA in time dt. This causes an increase in magnetic flux d phi. So wherever there is a change in flux, there will be an induced EMF. What is the expression for induced EMF? d phi is equal to bdA. Okay. Now, can any so here I'm taking it as 0. So cos 0, it will be 1. So b into dA I can take it as. Okay. So here, okay. Now what is dA? How much is dA? Neville.
Sir.
Can you tell me what is the expression for dA?
Sir,
Area is
D.
equal to, it is a rectangle shape. Length
So
into breadth.
into L.
It is not A, it is dA. So
V dt into L.
L into B. Sorry, not B. L into X S dashes. Okay. So P dash S dash into S dashes. So P dash S dash is L. S dash S is V dt. So we can write it as B into L into V dt. So this is the expression for d phi. Okay. Yadu.
Sir,
How can we get the expression for E induced EMF? What is the expression for induced EMF? From Faraday's law and Lenz's law. E is equal to
LVB.
I am asking expression for induced. E is equal to, using Faraday's law and Lenz's law. What is the expression for induced EMF? We have discussed in the beginning. What is the mathematical expression for that? Minus d phi by dt, isn't it? Now calculate minus d phi by dt from this expression. What you will get? Niranjana Jairaj, d phi is given. Calculate d phi by dt. Then put a minus sign. That's all. Niranjana Jairaj, are you there?
BLV.
B into L into V. This d phi, you can take here. This is d phi. So dt, you take this one side. So it will become d phi by dt. D phi by dt is BLV. But what is our induced EMF? EMF is minus d phi by dt. So E is nothing but minus into B into LV. This is the expression for the EMF induced in this one. And what is the reason for this induced EMF, Jyotis? Movement of the coil. So there is a motion associated. So this EMF is induced due to the motion of the coil. Therefore, this induced EMF is also called as motional EMF, because EMF due to motion of the coil. So expression for motional EMF is E into minus BLV. EMF is equal to minus BLV. Okay. Now, Sri Lakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is the expression what will happen when I take the coil outside, coil away from the magnetic field, to the right? I am taking the coil to the right.
The area associated with the magnetic field decreases.
Decreases. Okay. So.
The
flux changes.
Flux changes.
Okay. So
S changes. I mean VDT decreases.
Okay, so what will be there? If the flux changes, there will be an induced EMF. What will be the expression for that induced EMF?
BLV.
What about minus?
Not negative,
Because
because it is opposite in direction.
because in this case, if it is clockwise, or if it in this case if it is anti-clockwise, then if I take the if I reverse the motion, it will be in clockwise. You know that it always opposes. So minus into minus BLV, it becomes BLV. So if the loop is pulled out of the magnetic field, then the induced EMF will be B into L into V. Okay, very important expression for motional EMF. Okay, this is the second method for producing induced EMF. First method being changing magnetic field. Second method by changing area. How can you change the area? By moving the coil. Okay. So here, now our aim, we know that there is an induced EMF. We have to find the direction of induced EMF. Nandana Shaji. Nandana Shaji.
Yes, sir.
Which law gives the direction of induced EMF? Direction of induced EMF. Magnitude is given by Faraday's law. Direction is given by
Sir, Fleming's law.
Fleming. There are many Fleming's left hand rule is there. Fleming's right hand rule is there. Which law you are talking?
Sir, right hand.
Fleming's?
Right
Until
hand.
now, we have not discussed Fleming's right hand rule.
Sir, left hand.
But no. But accidentally, you are correct. We have to use Fleming's right hand rule.
Okay, sir.
Okay. But that is the thing I'm not expecting. I'm expecting the other law which we have discussed. We have discussed Faraday's law. The other law we have discussed is Lenz's law. The direction of the induced EMF is given by Lenz's law. Always remember again, the magnitude of the induced EMF is given by Faraday's law. The direction is given by Lenz's law. That was the expected answer. Okay. So how can we apply the Lenz's law here? Aditi. Can you recall what is Lenz's law?
Sir, I just joined now. I didn't listen.
No problem. This is not now. We have not discussed Lenz's law. Lenz's law have been discussed in the last class. It's already over. Revision.
Sir,
Lenz's law. മോക്ക കഴിയിട്ടല്ലേ വന്നത് ഇപ്പൊ എണീറ്റേ ഉള്ളൂ എന്താ ലേറ്റ് ആയ ക്ലാസ്സിന് 8:30 ആയല്ലോ
സർ ഞാൻ മെസ്സേജ് കണ്ടു
ഓക്കെ
സർ
ലാസ്റ്റ് ക്ലാസ് പ്രസന്റ് ആയിരുന്നല്ലേ
യെസ് സർ
പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ Can you recall what is Lenz's law?
Direction of induced EMF.
It gives the direction of induced EMF. Okay, I will give you another chance later. Now Niranjan. State Lenz's law. Direct question, so I need a direct answer. The direction of induced EMF is the direction of induced EMF is. See, there is no meaning if you don't recall the things and come. When I talked in Lenz's law, when I talk Faraday's law, if you are just blinking your eyes, then what is the meaning in taking the class? I always tell. I'm not only talking to Niranjan, I am talking to the whole class. Whenever you are coming to the class, at least revise the previous slides. I am sharing the slides, or at least videos I am sharing. At least watch the videos. If you don't have enough time, put that video in 1.5 speed. YouTube, it is available. Increase the speed and then at least watch, or at least have a glance through the summary. And I have given the summary also. In the first slide itself, I have given what we have discussed in the last class. So the main thing, you don't understand physics is nothing but because you lack the prerequisites. Yes, anyone? Lenz's law.
Opposes.
It opposes the change. So here, what is the change? Magnetic field increases or decreases? Here, Sandhya Sanish, can you tell me what is the change happening here? Increase in magnetic field or decrease in magnetic field associated with the coil? As the coil moves, what is happening to the area?
Increases.
Area increases. So induced EMF will try to decrease the area. How it can decrease the area? Why the area? Aditya Shaiju.
Sir.
Induced EMF is due to increase in area.
Yes,
So
sir.
the induced EMF will try to decrease the area. How area can be decreased?
Sir, by moving the coil.
By pushing the coil away from the magnetic field. So what will be the
Yes, sir.
direction of force here? Towards left or towards right?
Towards right.
Towards right. What is the direction of magnetic field?
Outwards.
Magnetic field. Cross. Cross means inwards.
Inwards.
Inwards. So you know the direction of magnetic field. You know the direction of force. How can you calculate the direction of current?
Fleming's.
Fleming's.
Right hand rule.
Fleming's?
Right hand rule.
I'm talking, how can you calculate the current? Current, magnetic field, force. Then I have to consult again Aditya. Sorry, Nandana Shaji. Yeah, Fleming's left hand rule. So how? Tell me the direction. Yes, is it from P to S or S to P? Consider the amps. P to S or S to P?
P to S. P to S.
Current. Stretch your which fingers? Central finger, forefinger, and thumb. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I will tell you the direction. Be ready with your left hand. Okay. So the central finger should be in the direction of current. That we don't know. We have to find. So we'll move to the forefinger. Forefinger into the plane. So you have to point to the screen. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Now?
Yes, sir.
Now, next one. Thumb should point in the direction of?
Right side.
So what will be the direction?
Downwards.
So that is the direction of force. So we have to find the direction of current. The direction of induced current is given by Lenz's law, or as I told earlier, it is given by Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, direction of force is given by Fleming's left hand rule. Direction of current is given by Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, so I will describe this diagram later. So first let's discuss Lenz's law. Here the direction of induced current is anti-clockwise in the loop by Fleming's right hand rule. So first let's discuss Fleming's right hand rule, and then we'll come back to this slide. Okay, so Fleming's right hand rule gives here, if you stretch your right hand such that the forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, then the thumb gives the direction of force, and then the electric current is given by the direction of central finger. Okay, so here if the central finger, forefinger and thumb of right hand are stretched mutually perpendicular to each other, and the forefinger points to magnetic field, thumb points to the direction of motion, then central finger points to the direction of induced current in the conductor. So Fleming's right hand rule gives the direction of induced EMF. And is this one. So we have a field here. Now this is the coil, and as I told earlier, as the coil moves towards the field, the area associated with the magnetic field increases. Therefore, there is a change in area, there is a change in flux, there is an induced EMF. Now, so here, suppose I'm just counting, I'm just quantifying the magnetic field. Suppose there are 4 crosses here associated with. So initially, 4, the magnetic field associated with 4 units. Just take an example. See here, this is the area associated. There are 4 crosses. So I'm taking it as 4. Now, as I move inwards, now how much is the field associated? 8. Now, as I move further, again, now it is 12. Okay. So here, this is the first case. Sorry. The first case. Okay. Now I'm moving further. So it has reached here. This is a new position. Now how much flux is associated? So I'm taking it as 16. Like that it is going. So there is an increase in flux associated. Therefore, there is a induced EMF. Now, once I reach that final position, now it has reached here. Now tell me what is the flux associated with? What is the flux associated? How to quantify the flux? How much flux is associated with the coil? Niranjana Vijayan.
Sir,
How much flux is now associated? By using this example, quantifying. How to quantify? How much flux is associated? Just count how many crosses are there.
24.
24? Yeah. 3 and 3, 6, 6 and 4, 24. Okay. Now, what happens if the coil moves further? It's already completely in the field. Now, again, it is moving further. So, it will move and suppose it has reached this position. It has reached this position. So, now, Niranjana, what is the flux?
Same.
Same, 24. Now, again, it further moves. It has reached this position. What about now? 24. So, what can you conclude from this one? What is the conclusion you can arrive at?
It remains same and
Whether any further production or induced EMF will be there?
No.
In this case, it changed from 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16. So, it is changing. But what about here? It remains same. This is just an example, okay, to make you understand. That's all. So here, the important point to note is that if the loop is completely inside the boundary of magnetic field, then there will not be any change in magnetic flux associated. So once it is completely inside the boundary, and if the coil starts to move again, then there will not be any further increase in the magnetic field. Now we are thinking, suppose we have, now again we want to change the area. How can we change the area? For that, we will take some other arrangement. This is the arrangement shown in NCERT textbook also. So here you can see that the coil is completely inside the magnetic field. But here one thing is there, the arm PQ. Wait, yeah, this arm PQ is a movable one. PQ can move inwards or outwards. So as it moves inwards, what will happen, Malavika?
Yes, sir.
So here we have a rectangular coil. What is the specialty of this rectangular coil? One side is movable. So what happens if the side PQ move inwards? Whether the magnetic field will change?
Increases.
Magnetic field. Listen to the statement.
Magnetic field.
It remains same. It is a uniform magnetic field.
Right, sir.
Or what is changing here? Angle?
Area.
We are not changing, we are not rotating the coil. So angle also remains same. Or what is changing? Yes, area changes. What is happening to area? Increases or decreases? Malavika, as the area increases or decreases? Huh? I can't hear.
So decreases.
Decreases. Area decreases. There is a change in area, change in flux, induced EMF. Okay. So here again you can find the direction of induced EMF with the help of Fleming's right hand rule. Again, so area decreases or the magnetic flux. So suppose the new position is here. Suppose after moving it reached here, only this much magnetic field is associated or area is associated with the magnetic field. So the force will be outwards. Force will try to oppose this motion or it will try to increase the area. So force is in this direction, magnetic field is inwards. So using Fleming's right hand rule, you will get the direction of EMF in this direction, or the direction of EMF is anti-clockwise. Again, so that is the example. Okay. Now the third method, by changing the orientation of the coil theta. So we have phi is equal to BA cos theta. We have discussed the method to change B, change A. Now we are moving to the next one, that is theta. Okay, flux can be changed by changing the relative orientation of loop. with the magnetic field. As I told earlier, theta is the angle between area vector and magnetic field, not the coil and magnetic field. It's the angle between area vector and magnetic field. So here B is constant, A is constant. We are not changing magnetic field, not changing area. Now we are keeping the coil like this. So now if we rotate the coil, what will happen? See here, this is a PQRS coil. Area vector is perpendicular to the surface. Theta is the angle between area vector and magnetic field theta. As theta changes, as we rotate the coil, what is happening? Theta is changing. Okay, so what is the expression for flux here? Flux is equal to B dot A, BA cos theta. If we have n number of turns in the coil, it will be n into B into A cos theta. That's all. If you have more number of turns, you have to multiply by the number of turns. So phi is equal to NBA cos theta. Okay, so here at time t with angular velocity omega, what is the expression for omega in terms of theta? Anyone? Shruti RS. What is the relation between omega and theta? Angular displacement and angular velocity. Shruti RS. Aksha. Rutuparna. Can you tell me the relation between omega and theta? Omega is equal to?
Theta by T.
Very good. Theta by T. Therefore, theta is equal to?
Theta equal to omega into T.
Omega into T. So substituting here, it is moving with an angular velocity omega. Okay, so theta is equal to omega into T. At time T, initially the loop is assumed to be perpendicular. If the loop is perpendicular, the area vector is parallel to B. Always remember that. If the loop is perpendicular, area vector will be in this direction, magnetic field is also in this direction. That means theta is 0 degree. Okay. So here, first initially we are taking at time t is equal to 0, loop is assumed to be perpendicular. Then we are starting to rotate the loop. Okay, so in that expression will be phi is equal to NBA cos omega t. NBA cos omega t. Okay, now Neha is Biju. Neha.
Yes, sir.
How to find the EMF, induced EMF? E is equal to?
Minus d phi by dt.
Okay, do it and tell me the answer. First find d phi by dt, then put minus sign. What will be d phi by dt? N is constant, N is constant, B is constant, A is constant. So d phi by dt is nothing but take all the constant outside. NBA is constant. D by dt of cos omega t. Here the function of t is only cos omega t. What is d by dt of cos omega t?
Minus sin omega t.
That's all. Yes. First you have to what is that rule called? Chain rule. Okay. Cos omega t. What is the differential of cos omega t? Differentiation is minus sin omega t. Okay. Actually cos theta or cos t sin t. But instead of t, what we have omega t is there. So what is the first you differentiate? Cos omega t. You will get minus sin omega t. Now whatever is there inside the bracket omega t. What is the derivative of omega t? Omega into t. What is the derivative? Omega. Okay. See here, d by dx of kx is nothing but k into x, dx by dx. Okay. So similarly, omega t. Just remember others, those who are not familiar with the differentiation, d by dt of omega t is cos omega t is minus omega sin omega t. So you will get d phi by dt is equal to minus n into b into a into omega sin omega t. Not only sin omega t, you should multiply by omega. Okay, so minus omega sin omega t. So this is not EMF. What is EMF? EMF is minus d phi by dt. So d phi by dt you got minus of minus. So what will happen? NBA omega sin omega t. What is N? Number of turns. B, magnetic field. A, area of coil. Omega, angular velocity. The coil is rotating. Sin omega t, the angle, the change in EMF with respect to the rotation. So here NBA, what is the maximum value and minimum value? Nandana S. Nandana S. Can you tell me the maximum value of E and minimum value of E? At least tell me the maximum value. When the EMF will be maximum. We are concerned about the maximum one.
At 90 degree.
What happened when 90 degree? What happened? When theta is 90 degree, what will be the value of d phi by dt? Sorry, EMF. How much will be EMF? See here, sin omega t becomes 1. Sin omega t becomes 1 means E is equal to NBA omega. That is the maximum value. So maximum EMF possible, E max, or I'll call it as E naught, is NBA omega. This is the expression for maximum EMF. So here I can, instead of NBA omega, I can write it as E naught, maximum EMF. So E can be written as E naught sin omega t. This is the expression for EMF, induced EMF. E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Nivin? Can you find any specialty for this expression? E is equal to E naught sin omega t. E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Any specialty for this expression? As time changes, what will happen to E? E increases or decreases? Or any other pattern? Neha Sandosh? Vandana MS?
Yes, sir.
Can you predict the output? What will be the form of output? Is it increasing or decreasing or increasing, decreasing, fluctuating?
Sir, decreasing.
Decreasing. E is equal to E naught sin omega t. As time changes. So initially, I'll talk time and this is angle. Okay. So it will be easier. First, the time is 0. What is the angle? Theta?
0.
0. It is kept perpendicular. Therefore, angle is angle is 0. Area vector will be parallel. Next time t by 4. Because total time t is required for 2 pi rotation. Okay. So 2 pi rotation, total time. Yes. T by 4. T by 4, how much it will rotate? Or you forget about that. For pi by 2 rotation, it will take t by 2 time. Once again, I will explain. I will explain it in an order so that you can understand. First, initially 0. What is time period? Time period is time required for one complete rotation. So one complete rotation means 2 pi. Total angle rotated will be 2 pi. Okay. Now half the rotation. Half the rotation means pi. How much time it will take? Half the rotation, how much time it will take? It will take t by 2 time. Pi. Okay. So what will the every value here? Pi by 4. Again, pi by 4 rotation, it will take t by 4 time. Clear to everyone? Sorry, pi by 2. Pi by 2 rotation. T by 4 time. Next. Any doubt in this one? Do I have to explain? Shweta?
Yes, sir.
Is this concept clear? This is
Yes,
basic.
sir.
Okay. So here tell me in each case. When time is equal to 0, what will be the value of E? Shweta, you only tell. E is equal to?
Is 0.
E is 0? Sin 0, right? So
yes, sir.
EMF will be 0. Okay. Pi by 2.
Pi by 2. 1 sin omega t will
so
be
this
1.
will be 1. So what will be E?
E epsilon naught.
E naught, not epsilon. It is
E
EMF. Okay.
naught, E naught.
Epsilon is like this. This is like this. Okay. Yeah, that is the thing. Okay, epsilon. What about pi?
Pi.
Again 0. Is it so? Sin
Yes,
pi.
sir.
What will be the
yes,
graph
sir,
of
0.
graph of sin theta? I am asking the graph of sin theta. I'll draw it here. Here, this is the theta omega t. So theta is pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi, 5 pi by 2, like that. Or in terms of time, how can I represent? T by 4, T by 2, 3 T by 4, and T. Okay, this I already told. Now, it is initially 0. This is 0, 0. Time, both are 0. So sine 0 is 0. And sine pi by 2 is E naught. Here in this case, not sine pi by 2 is 1. And E will be E naught. So if I plot the graph will be like this. See here, 0, 0. When it is pi by 2, maximum value. What is the maximum value called? Maximum value is E naught. Again, sine pi, it becomes 0. Next, 3 pi by 2, it becomes E naught. 2 pi, it becomes 0. So, first 0, then E naught, 0, minus E naught will come. It is actually minus E naught. Then 0, then E naught, then 0, then minus E naught. So, what will be the value? This is nothing but the plot of sine theta. That's all. No need to explain much. Okay. So, this is the output. What is the specialty of this output? Assam. What is this output called? What is this output called? Any particular value? We have discussed 3 types of currents. Have you seen this pattern for any those type of currents?
AC current.
Alternating current. Very good. So this is a pattern for alternating current. So if you rotate the coil, what is happening? The output current will be an alternating current. So alternating EMF and consequently alternating current can be expressed in sine theta or cos theta, because you know sine pi by 2, cos pi by 2, those conversions you know. Okay. So it can be expressed either as sine theta or as cos theta function. So this method of inducing EMF is the basic principle of generator. We'll discuss this one later. So in order to generate EMF, here what we are doing, we are keeping B same, area same. We are rotating the coil. So take a coil, keep it in a magnetic field and start to rotate it. So what will happen? As the theta changes, induced EMF is generated. And that induced EMF is a sine wave, alternating one. So current will also be alternating current. So this is the starting point of next chapter, alternating current. So alternating current is produced using electromagnetic induction. That is the third method, by changing the angle or by rotating the coil. Okay, that we will discuss in detail in alternating current. The last portion is eddy current. That I will discuss it in next class. Okay, so let's skip this. It's already 9 o'clock. So let's solve a numerical. Okay, try this numerical. Tomorrow is physics class, 11:30 to 12:30. So in that we will discuss eddy current and further portions. Try to solve this numerical and tell me the answer. This is a direct question, nothing to explain. Got the answer? Anyone? Visma.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what are the things given? Given data?
Sir, area
Okay, area is given.
0.15 meters.
Meter square. Okay, then?
Magnetic field
Before that, what is this? In order we'll go. That is N, number of turns.
Okay.
Then next
Magnetic field
angle. Coil is perpendicular to magnetic field. What is the angle? This is the magnetic field. Coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field. What is theta here? We already discussed. Here the area vector is in this direction. Area vector n cap. Area vector is here. magnetic field is here. Both are parallel. Therefore, here theta is 0 degree. Don't take theta 90 degree. Coil is placed perpendicular to magnetic field. Therefore, theta is 0. Okay. Magnetic field. Okay, Visma, continue.
Sir, 5 into 10 raised to minus.
Then what is 2 into 10 raised to minus 3? The change. So here the magnetic field changes from 5 to 2. So it decreases. And what else is given? 30 milliseconds. That is the time. Now calculate the induced EMF. Niranjana A. Niranjana A. How to proceed? Niranjana, not here. Aditya? Yes. Aditya, yes.
Sir.
Induced EMF E is equal to?
BL.
This is change in time.
BLV.
BLV is for motional EMF. The coil is not moving here. Here, the induced EMF is not due to rotation, due to change in magnetic field.
Yes.
BLV is applicable only when the coil moves or the area changes. Remember. Faraday's law, Madhya. Faraday's law apply minus d phi by dt. Minus d phi by dt.
Okay.
Flux change in the how to calculate d phi? D phi is equal to dB into area into cos theta. Cos theta 90 degree, sorry, 0 degree, cos 0, 1. So dB into A. What is the change in magnetic field? Change in magnetic field. Final minus initial. Final etraya?
Minus 3 into 10.
What is the final magnetic field?
2 into 10. 2 into 10. 2 into 10 raised to minus 3.
Nia. 2 into 10 raised to minus 3. What is the initial one?
5 into 10 raised to minus 3.
5. So what is the change? Final minus
Minus
initial. 2 minus 5. 10 raised to minus 3 is common. Minus 3 into
10 raised to minus 3.
10 raised to minus 3 multiplied by area 0.15. Multiply and tell me the answer. Tell me the answer. Then a half an hour now. 15 to 3, 45. And 2 decimal places. 0.45 into 10 raised to minus 3. What is the SI unit of flux?